Hello and welcome to Life Like You Mean It. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most difficult lessons that most of us end up learning when we're in usually our 20s, somewhere in there, and that is that you are not the center of their story. So most of us are in a very similar boat, right? Regardless of what our childhood was like. For me, I had a very doting, loving mother, but I had a very abusive stepfather. So I can relate to those of you watching who did not necessarily come from a loving, wonderful home. And then also for those of you that did, because in a way I had both. Regardless of what your upbringing was like, your whole life, you have been the center of your story, right? You're the main character. You're in your world, the universe revolves around you, right? Your emotions are important, your feelings are important, your thoughts are important, you are important. What's happening in your life is important. Every decision that you make is about you, obviously, right? As it should be. But when we are children, if you look back on a few of those moments, right, especially because, of course, when we were first born, we're not able to actually take care of ourselves. But, well, through our formidable years when we're still learning, right, we ask for help and usually we would receive that help, whether it was at home with parents and siblings or whether that was at school with teachers or carers there. So we get this sensation that for other people, we are also the center of their story because, especially when we've got doting parents, typically, if you ask for help in something, say you're doing your homework, a lot of times parents will say, okay, let me just finish this one thing and then I will get there. Or they'll drop that instantly and come on over and help you. Usually within a short period of time, you've got that help that's there, right? And so it doesn't occur to you, literally, that for other people, they would be the center of their own story. You're not. And while this might seem obvious while I am saying it, the reason why I am pointing it out is because it really is a lesson that we have to learn at some point in our lives. Usually in our 20s is when we start to be able to put two and two together with this. With some people, it will be in their teen years. And with some others, it will be well into their 30s and 40s before this really starts to hit home for them and they learn this lesson. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I speak a lot about shifting your perception. Right, I just did a podcast episode about it. There was a YouTube video about it just a few weeks ago. Shifting your perception is all about having a second look at something that's happened in the past. Might have been yesterday, it might have been decades ago, and taking yourself out of it, right? Acting like if you're the fly on the wall, watching the situation unfold, and try to actually see that situation from everybody else's perspective. So, understanding that the person who yelled at you or that hurt you in some sort of way was perhaps not actually intending to do that. They hadn't set out to do that, but it had come out that way because of the terrible day that they had had. They had a lot of pent up anxiety, frustration, and anger, and that was their way of blowing off steam, and you were the one that just happened to be there. Or perhaps they were on purpose trying to hurt somebody else because that's how they've learned over the years to feel good about themselves, right? Somehow that makes them feel powerful to make somebody else look and feel weak, for example. Now, again, that's still not about you because they weren't seeking out to try to actually hurt you. Anybody would do, right? It's still about them. And that's the point of trying to shift your perception. And the point of this video is just getting you to just take a look at different scenarios in your life, different experiences and situations that you may be facing right now, and just remind yourself gently that although some people seem to be manipulative or liars or cheaters or, they hurt you particularly. And even though it may seem like they've gone out of their way to do so, The reality is, this is all about them. They are the ones that are holding that main stage in their life. They are the center of their own story. You are not. So even if it's a consistent type of cheating or abusive type of behavior, they will do that with somebody else. It's not about you. You are not playing that central role in the story of their life. They are. And so they are doing everything that they are doing to meet a need within themselves. It actually has nothing to do with you. I hope that helps. As always, you are welcome to subscribe by clicking that button. Make sure that you click on the icon, the silver bell, so that you can always receive notifications of these videos. Bless.